You know, one of those things that I got a call from somebody, I got a note from somebody in Chicago, and they said, imagine, he says, the Cavaliers win the NBA championship, the Cubs win the World Series, and Trump is elected president. He said, my God, he says, hell's got to be freezing over. You know, it's close to what I said. I told the staff, and I told Greg one time, you're never going to get me to speak at that First Friday Club until they get a cold day in Cleveland. Well, we got a cool day, so here I am. Auxiliary bishop, I had to move out of the Abbey, okay? I had to move out of the Abbey. And I was so comfortable in the Abbey. It was just the Abbey in high school. That's all I had to do. But now, as auxiliary bishop, I had to travel all over 8 counties. I had no idea where some of these parishes were. I've never been to them. So I did what most people do. I got myself a GPS, a Garmin. Got myself a Garmin, boy, I'll tell you, after 45 years in the monastery, now I'm out on the road. I'm out on the road, and I get out to the street, and I don't go too far, and the lady's voice says, turn right in 2 miles. Hey, my friends, 45 years in the monastery, a woman never gave me directions. Never told me where to go, so. But now she's telling me all the time. But boy, and that really confused my mother the first time I took her. Because she's 92, she was 86 years old, and I'd just been ordained a bishop. Here she's trying to protect her son. She's trying to protect me, and this woman tells me which direction to go in. My mother, who is that woman? I said, Mom, it's a computer voice. Where is she? I said, Mom, I told you it's a computer voice. And then she says, how does she know where you are? So anyway, I explained to her about the satellite in the sky, the satellite's focusing on this Garmin, and it's going to make sure the Garmin gets to the direction that I put into it. And so then she understood and had no more problems. But for those of you who've been to some of my confirmations in the last few years, you've noticed that I've adapted that same theme to the confirmation homily, because I tell everybody that they have a GPS. It's God's positioning system, okay? It's not a satellite. It's the Holy Spirit hovering over us, taking us and guiding us to our directions, to our home base, to heaven, to touch the face of God. And as long as we follow the directions, we'll get there, okay? But if we don't follow the directions, we're going to hear the Holy Spirit, just like that voice on that computer, make a legal U-turn, recalculating, But, it helps now to understand that God's always with us, walking at our back, walking at our back. I tell, and I'll use it probably again this Christmas, I tell the people that when Jesus was born, we read in the scriptures that he was wrapped in swaddling clothes. When he died, he was wrapped in a shroud. And when we have Mass, he comes to us wrapped in bread. He's wrapped in bread. And just like on Christmas Day, when we get a gift and we tear it open, we want to find out what's inside. When we receive the Eucharist, we too should remember that it tastes like bread. It looks like bread. But once we consume that, we've consumed the body and blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus Christ. And he said, unless you eat my body and drink my blood, you cannot have life within you. And then we're transformed. We're transformed to go out into the world. And I think that's why we, as a community, as a Diocese of Cleveland, we are so good. I left the monastery. I kept OSB after my name because once I left the monastery and was ordained a bishop, I became part of the Cleveland Presbyterate. I'm part of the Cleveland Diocese now, not part of the Abbey anymore, but I keep that OSB after my name to show everybody that I was trained and prepared for this life with the Benedictine lifestyle, And I said, I'll keep it that way as long as they keep those letters in that order. But thank you for being here today. And I love the work I have with the First Friday Club. When Nelson Callahan passed away, and I was asked to try to fill his shoes, which is not an easy task, I said yes. And these years that I have been able to come to these meetings and meet so many wonderful people here that come regularly and are part of this First Friday Club contingency, and to hear the good speakers that we have, and to be part of the board that puts this all together, I want to say thank you to all of you. And as Greg said beforehand, If there's any way you can support the First Friday Club, we certainly appreciate it. Not only by your presence, but a monetary gift would be greatly appreciated. So God bless you all, and thank you for your patience. Pray for me. Pray for me that my future time will be well used, and I know it will be. It'll be well used in the service of God. So God bless you, and thank you.